Mr. Soros, it's a really great honor and very appreciated for you to taking our Yumi WI interview. Yumi WI is actually wanted to develop a platform for young people to come together to actually search informations, listen to wisdoms, talking, exchange views, and develop their capabilities. So we very much like to talk about today how to help or to share your views or your visions with the Chinese young people.
Well, I'm very pleased to participate in this.
Nowadays, there are so many Chinese spend a lot of time on stocks and fund. They try to invest. You know, you are being so successful as financial investors. So what do you suggest them to do?
If they are successful, they should continue. And if they lose money, they should stop. It's interesting, but some studies show that there are many people who continue gambling in the stock market even though they always lose money. If investing becomes a gambling habit, they should stop it. That's not very good. If you really stuck in a particular line, you should be ready to switch. And when I was a young man, I had several false starts in life. And when I got very frustrated, I made a big change. And eventually, I found the way to get ahead. So when I succeeded, kept on going. If I failed, then I changed course. But to test your ideas against reality is a very good thing.
Right. Well, the young people encounter a lot of challenges. They have a lot of thinking, they have a lot of dreams in their mind, and they want to be successful. Everyone would like to try the best. Mm-hmm. Do you think there's any short way to be successful?
You know, some people are successful sooner than others. I can only speak from personal experience. When I was young, you know, I was thinking very hard, and I had a lot of passion and interest in wanting to achieve great things. And I couldn't translate that into practice. And that was very frustrating. And it took me a very long time actually to succeed. But now that I'm really now an old man, you know, I'm nearly 80 years old, I have actually just more or less recently fulfilled the dreams that I had when I was an adolescent. And that is a source of great satisfaction to me. But it took a very long time to achieve it. The problem I had as a young man is that I didn't connect with the world. I didn't have entry into the world. The world almost was like a closed door, and I was knocking on the door, but I didn't find the key to open it. And that finding the key, that is what takes a lot of time. And of course, the more experienced you become, the more easy it becomes to open other doors.
Right. Now, when facing this kind of uncertainty, as you said, it's critical to find the right key in order to open the door. But the problem is where you're going to find the key. This is a lot of uncertainty facing. So what can you suggest to Chinese young people when they are making their prediction for their life, for their, for example, job, opportunities, the business is doing, their life changes?
There isn't a single way. You see, different people have different abilities, different interests. There was an ancient Greek philosopher who said, know yourself. And that's very good advice. It's not enough to understand the world, you also have to understand yourself. And that's the way forward.
Well, recently in China, Chinese publish your recent lectures in Budapest.
Yes. Basically, I sum up my view of the world, and of course I particularly talk about the financial markets because that's where I have the most experience. And the main point is that our understanding of the world in which we live is inherently imperfect, because the people who actually are participating in the world change the world by their thinking. And that is what creates the uncertainty that you have to cope with. It's like a game that you play, the rules of which are to some extent changed by the way you play the game. So it's a very complicated game.
Many people call you an investor's profit strategist. Mm-hmm. You are able to make very well ahead of time projections. How are you able to do that?
Well, you know, my prediction of the future is not usually accurate, but I do try to anticipate. And I'm also ready to correct my expectations when reality doesn't fulfill my expectations. So I think it's important to realize that our understanding of reality is always imperfect and inadequate. It can be improved, but it can never be perfect. So that way you don't lose your way. You try to find your way because you are trying to anticipate the future, but you know that if you get in the wrong direction, you then have to change a course. So you have to be always critical of your own beliefs, and at the same time you must have some belief.
And then we know, reading your books, your biographies, and actually you're applying your philosophies